Great that you're watching the SAI Conference 2015. My name is Lars Sørensen and we're here in London talking to exhibitants, participants, keynote speakers and many more people here at the SAI Conference. So great that you're watching. I hope you like this little interview we'll have with one of our speakers. If you like, don't forget to share and to like and to put it on Facebook, wherever, and subscribe to our YouTube channel because there will be plenty of more content coming. So we're talking to Peter Will, one of our keynote speakers here, one of the knowledge talks you gave. You're with Iotic Labs, a startup you're involved in there, and also connected to Cambridge Wireless. And one of the things that really came strong onto me was like the connection of maybe your trousers and your shoes, like connecting all these things.
Yeah.
Things are getting more wireless and more connected. Elaborate a little bit on what's happening.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. And the trousers and the shoes example was completely off the top of my head in that talk.
Yeah,
It's quite funny.
But I liked
really.
it that,
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
because
yeah.
of that. Yeah,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, the bigger message really is that the Internet of Things is completely transforming and will transform every aspect of society. It's bigger than the Industrial Revolution, and that was the example I used in my talk.
Yeah,
it completely changed society. It changed where people lived, where they worked, how they spent their time, etc. And I see that for the Internet of Things.
I guess if you compare it to the Industrial Revolution, it shows just how big it actually is going to be, right? Because if you gave an example about we dug in deeper into mines, meant we needed water pumps, meant we needed all these. In fact, it has such a big impact. Then the Internet of Things. Is it really going to change us as humans, how we interact, how we're living together in cities?
Sure, I think so. It's going to change the way that societies function. I don't think it would change us as human beings. I think if you look throughout history, then you can spot people like you and me throughout history. But actually the way that we... So spending time with people, spending time with families, going about our work, etc., they're all things that will continue. Yeah. But actually the opportunity is to enhance our societies, to join up information from all sorts of different places so that we get better transportation services, that our health is looked after better, that our cities function better, etc. Those are the opportunities.
Are we looking, and with we, I mean like also companies, but also researchers, universities, are we looking in the right directions? Because if we're talking about wireless and the Internet of Things, most of the examples that I'll see would be like a smart watch, or maybe a thermometer.
Or a smart fridge or something like that.
A smart fridge, yeah. So are we looking in the right areas already?
Okay, that's a really good question. And I used an example in my talk of a smart tea bag. I just thought of the most random example of a thing that I could imagine, just to really provoke us to think about it much beyond gadgets, if you like. Yeah. So the Internet of Things is going to be every potential thing. This is why I started talking about my shoes and then linking it to my trousers and so on. And say, just everyday objects. And actually, at the moment, some of these things are unrelated to each other. And the opportunity is to, as we share data, is to be able to form new relationships between different things. So if I'm walking down a street, then my shoes are interacting with the pavement. I'm interacting with the environment around me. There's buildings that I might be interested in. There's transport. There's noise. There's pollution. So all those things are interacting with me as a person. Yeah. So maybe there's some benefit I can get from actually knowing about some of the data of those things and mashing all that together.
Is Internet of Things still the right phrase? Because I guess would we need Internet? We see already sensors that are interacting like directly to each other. Would it be more like the network of things eventually?
I think we don't. My own view is we don't yet have the right term. I think Internet of Things will do for now because it portrays the idea of connecting billions of things to the Internet and talking to each other. But really, in 10 or 20 years' time, whether that's the right term to use, I don't know. I was also talking about what I called invisible computing. So things getting smarter, but actually the compute power, the tech stuff, actually moving into the background and becoming more invisible. So maybe my everyday objects have new powers or new capabilities, almost like magical powers.
Like the example you gave from one of the Lord of the Rings films?
Exactly,
the sword, the sting that turns blue when the orcs are near?
That's the one.
That's
the one. Yeah, absolutely. So I see things like that happening. So we'll be able to walk around the City of London like I did this morning to get here. There'll still be old buildings and still cool stuff happening. but there'll be additional services or additional things that those things around me can do that they couldn't do today.
What will be the main two takeouts? Because we're triggering people, obviously. You're watching this short interview with Peter Whale, but we would like you to watch the entire keynote, obviously. Why should I watch?
Yeah, sure. So there were two purposes really that I had today. One was to really say to the audience of typically people in the research community, this is the most exciting thing you can get involved with. There's lots of hard challenges and technical problems, and it can have a huge impact on humanity. What better thing could you spend your time doing? So that was number one. And the second thing was actually, we need to share and communicate knowledge and ideas and information together. So networking organisations such as Cambridge Wireless are really good places to do that.
Then for you personally, you're here live, and obviously we also are trying to get more and more people to be involved live at the SAI Conference. What differentiates the SAI Conference from other conferences that you would visit?
Yeah, sure. It's a really great environment. I think the international presence is really strong here. So I've been really impressed.
We've got
56 different nationalities.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah. So that's amazing. There's very few conferences I've been to that can achieve that. So I think that's a real strength. And again, this idea of sharing knowledge and information across the globe is really important.
I want to thank you for your time, for sharing and being with us here in this short interview. If you're interested, and sure you are, you want to see the entire keynote, we got it available for you on our YouTube channel. You can just watch it for free. We're sharing information here at the SAI Conference. And if you're liking it, make sure that you're here next year. Hope to see you there.